do they not?
Oh, you mean Dame Catherine?
Dame Catherine of Marlow, yes. She was at this regatta, I think, dishing out the prizes not so long ago, and of course she competed here over the years, but we can see there that St Andrew University have a decent lead as you pick up these images. Top right hand corner is the fours, and the single sculling race that's on the track at the moment is in fact race number 37. This is senior single sculls. Gallagher from Walbert Rowing Club and Connolly from Leicester Rowing Club. And Gallagher on the nearest side trailing at the moment, and it's Connolly from Leicester Rowing Club who's got a pretty decent lead in the early stages of this race.
And although these competitors competed in the time trials this morning, when they come out of the time trials, they do often put the fastest against the slowest. And of course, in sculling, there is quite a big gap between the fastest and slowest in a sculling event. And when in the first minute or so you find yourself several lengths behind your opponent in a sculling race, it's awfully hard to come back. So at the moment, just sculling at 30 is Gallagher from, I'm sorry, I've got that wrong, is Connolly from Leicester. But she's sitting now on a 3 or 4 length lead over Gallagher from Walbrook. So they haven't even reached, just reaching the Copos offices now, and she's at 29, Gallagher.
Sophie Connolly then with the lead as they move away from us down towards the halfway point. It's Sophie Connolly with pretty good lead here over Natasha Gallagher. The next race underway that you can see is Bowyer of Wallingford Rowing Club up against Cutler of... No, it's not. She's up against Merritt Smith from Upper Thames. Upper Thames, of course, have their clubhouse on this reach. And you can see here that the water is just a little bit bobbly, so another thing to contend with for these single scullers. Top of the island, Sarah Bowyer of Wallingford looks to have the advantage.
On our live feed,
always a bit difficult to tell from this angle. But the local sculler from Upper Thames finds herself a length down as they come away from the top of the island. Sarah Bowyer of Wallingford Rowing Club steering absolutely spot on. She's taken the lead now of about a length. So Bowyer, Wallingford Rowing Club continues to lead. And it's Mary Merritt Smith, the local girl from Upper Thames. And this race making its way through the meadows and up towards our commentary position, which takes them pretty much adjacent to the church here at Remenham, and a Wallingford supporter encouraging their sculler, and she's doing rather well as she...
I think the Wallingford scullers just leaned on as they went past down the Fawley Meadows here, and it's just pushing away. A real push there. She's actually in danger of being in the centre of the river. She's sculling at 30, and she's just pushing away with every stroke at the moment. Far more power on the second half of the stroke at the moment. Both scullers at 30, but at the moment there seems to be a lot more pace coming in. A lot more pace coming in from Bowyer of Wallingford. Although I noticed as they went away, the curse of the commentator, of course, Merritt Smith responded and is now trying to get back. But she's got a gap of a length and a half, but of course that's not very much in a sculling race.
Looking at the overhead shot here, Stan, it looks like she's pulling away a bit now. Could be a couple of lengths. So maybe saw what her opponent was doing.
The trouble is, in a sculling boat, you have 2 or 3 gears which are race pace gears, and if your opponent forces you to break your rhythm, it's awfully difficult to find that rhythm at a pace which is being dictated by your opponent, which is how a gap in a sculling race can suddenly go from 1 to 3 lengths or from 2 to 4 lengths. Nothing to do with exhaustion, perhaps it's a bit in the mind, but it's mainly to do with someone else getting you out of your rhythm. It's interesting, we've got water down here a little more bumpy than it looks to be further down the course. They're now opposite the enclosure area, the boating rafts, and it looks like that gap is opened out a little bit more. We can see Boyer from Wallingford, but we can't at the moment see Merritt Smith from Upper Thames. And there indeed, when we have a look at the shot, picking it up from near the finish, we can see that the Wallingford scull has now got a cushion of some 2.5 lengths. But I think you were saying earlier, Martin, that when you're out in front you can dictate the race, and I think this is a good example of that. The Wallingford sculler just sitting there in control of the race, and the Upper Thames sculler looking a little bit more tense, a little bit more nervous, trying to get back, and you could almost feel Wallingford just sitting there going, go away, I've got this race under control. And maybe a little bit of fatigue beginning to come in. We're in the last third of this race now, but I don't think it's under any doubt, although of course in sculling you can never tell.
Well, they've got 2 more races to win it, so presumably if you are out in the lead, you want to try and save your energy. And the next race on the start now, we have Cantabrigian, G. Plunkett, and G. Cutler of Tideway Scullers School.
Gabby.
And it's Gabby Cutler of Tideway Scullers School up against Georgina Plunkett of Cantabrigian.
And we've got, could you tell there's some real fans of Sophie Connolly watching on the live feed? She did win.
And we got a result come through. We'll give you the full results after the batch of races, but I'm pleased to say we can report to the fans of Leicester Rowing Club that Sophie Connolly did in fact win her heat by 3 lengths, and the time there was 6 minutes 25, going past Temple Island, and that is just a fantastic shot. You'd never get fed up of looking at that. And this is a tidy race. Scullers maybe just getting a bit close together, but they've separated now without any interference from the umpire, and our overhead shot here shows that there's not too much in this. Cantabrigian are on the nearest side, so they are on the towpath side, and Gabby Cutler from Tideway Sculler School is on the left of your screen. And go Gabby, I reckon. She's what, maybe, all a 2 foot up.
You were heard.
And
Looks to me as though Gabby did a push there just coming off the island. She settled early, and then having settled she did a great big push, but actually it looks like it's been responded to. Georgina Plunkett responded to that, but actually I'm not sure that she can hold it off, because you can see Gabby has now just got her nose in front. And this is a crucial point. When somebody catches you up, even if you only had half a length, when they catch you up, and indeed we've got scullers there pushing at 32, trying to squeeze away, come past us, it's just half a length, and then we look across, and Cantabrigian have changed their rhythm, trying to get back. Slight different emphasis on these 2 strokes. Cantabrigian much more on the finish, scullers much more on the entry. Half a length in it. Cantabrigian got to be careful there. They're right on the centre line of the river as we go down. But the umpire is content at the moment.
So Martin, I've put the live feed
Now
on my
29 to
Facebook page.
Cantabrigian and scullers at 31. And it's interesting how Just a couple of extra pips, Martin, and it makes a slight difference.
Yeah, you can see here that the sculler out in front has just increased the pressure, and there is now probably a length as they're heading now down towards the enclosures and up to the halfway point. So just a length in this one, pretty close race. Georgina Plunkett nearest to us, and Gabby Cutler has had a bit of a push there, Stan, and I think she's now got a lead here of probably about a length and a half.
We're doing atmospheric shots from the overhead. Indeed, you're right, it's a length and a half. Oh, now we're back to the race. And yes, that's a very strong stroke she's got there. It's not the smoothest I've seen, but it's very, very effective. One of the things we find, even with quite top level, is a very difference in technique. If anybody deserts us and watches the World Rowing Cup this weekend, they'll notice a huge difference in the technique of the different scullers, and we can see this here. But 2 lengths, I think that is at the moment. 2 lengths between them. Looking down the course, it looks more than 2 lengths. The camera says about 2 lengths, but as I look at them in the distance, I would say 3, 3.5, even 4 lengths. It's amazing as you get into the middle third of the race and you're getting into oxygen deck and the legs are starting to scream, how in a sculling boat, in 2 or 3 strokes, you can really do it. Martin.
Last heat underway now, and this is Fiona Murtagh of Galway Rowing Club up against Kirsten Adams of Vesta. Murtagh of Galway is on the Berkshire station, that's nearest to the towpath, and Adams from Vesta is over towards the middle of the river, and it is the Irish sculler that has the lead at the top of the island by about a length. You can see in the top right hand screen the closing stages of the previous race, but the final heat of this senior singles sculls sees Fiona Murtagh just trying to break away here of Kirsten Adams from Vesta, just over a length as they're heading through the meadows. And there we have a good shot of these 2 scullers, the Irish girl nearest to the camera with the lead over Kirsten Adams of Vesta, and it's just about a length and a half. Senior single sculls, last heat. We'll do a results roundup for you after this. I've got Lizzie here standing by. Not full of jet lag, is she? No, she's looking with it. Stan's come down from Yorkshire. He's full of jet lag, but he's still firing on all cylinders, aren't you, Stanley?
Doing my best.
Doing your best. Good man. And Fiona Murtagh, Galway Rowing Club, she's doing her best as she passes our caravan. We'll all give you a wave out the window. How's that? Fiona Murtagh then with a lead of 2 lengths, is that now? Yep. Moving away from us down towards the landmark. So as they go away from us, we're about a third of the way, I reckon, down the course. As they go through the enclosures and past the control caravan, that's about the halfway spot. They move then down towards where the public are and the boat racks, the boating area, down past Old Blades towards Upper Thames, and then the finish down at Remenham Club with the chairman's enclosure, which is where all the good and the great are, Stanley, having a Pims and enjoying the fantastic scene that is Henley Women's Regatta 2017. 30 years old, this regatta, and by gum, if you look at those aerial shots, how this regatta has grown, and extremely popular. Overseas cruise reception last night at River and Row Museum, a sellout. Brilliant to have so many crews from overseas. And Kirsten Adams from Vesta as the previous winner here at the regatta, having won the academic Coxed Fours with Exeter. She was an umpire here last year, interesting enough. My one of my young sources tells me. Hello, young source. Hello.